Hello and welcome to Nintendo Link. My name is Jason, and today we're going to do a new series called the 411, where we basically give you an introduction and an explanation about new games that are coming out. And today we're going to be focusing on Smelter, an action hybrid by X Plus and DANGEN Entertainment. So let's launch this bad boy up and check it out. So this is a really unique title that I just reviewed for the site. So if you don't want to be spoiled and would rather just read the site or read the article and get an idea of what this game's about, I would recommend going that direction first, because here I'm going to take you into like the first 10-ish minutes of the game to give you an idea of what is to come. Right off the bat, this is an excellent intro, boss music, and really cool animation. It just kind of gives you an idea of everything that's happening. You got like numerous enemies, different types of enemies from different branches of the game. So the game is split into 3 major areas. Each area introduces different enemies, different bosses, different characters that you'll interact with. But most importantly for the gameplay, different elements that will enhance our main character and Smelter, the other main character. But you're also able to use this elemental swapping ability in other areas as well, which we'll get to in a quick second. I'm not going to be reading the story. I'm just going to kind of blaze through so we can get quickly into the gameplay. So here we are, Adam and Eve. Really quick intro to the story is Adam is the one that eats the apple and basically damns humanity. The garden is destroyed, here we go, and the two are cast out. And boy howdy does that really vibrate the controller. So long story short, Eve is plummeting, and we're gonna go ahead and just skip down to the bottom into the deep darkness, and she doesn't know where Adam is. And so she is on the lookout for her man. So we're gonna wake up. And this is the first side of the hybrid gameplay, which is the action-adventure side, or action-platformer side, which is very similar to something like Mega Man. You got a nice jump, you got an attack. The platforming is very precise, and it gets even more precise in a hot second, but much more so throughout the game in some of the latter stages, as well as the trials, which are an excellent group of platform challenges that are kind of spread throughout the levels, and there's 3 per Eve stage, like these type stages, except this one. This is the tutorial stage as you move forward, so that's a lot of fun. Here we go, we got a Super Metroid-like escape of chaos. Alright, focus real quick so I don't die. Alright. So made it past there. So in a minute we're about to like meet our second protagonist, Smelter. Hey, do I hear footsteps? Someone's up there, help me. Here we go. Holy smokes, I knew I was right. Hey, you tippity-tappitying up there. I'm down here. Drop down and get me out of here, will ya? This place is gonna come down any second, and I don't want my beautiful face crushed. He's got a very beautiful face. Oh boy, sounds like this place is coming down. I guess it's the end of the road for me. Alright, so let's go help our friend. So this is one of my favorite little things about it. You're basically playing as 2 characters, and Smelter is about to, what he coins the term as, Flutie Poo with Eve. And Flutie Pooing is basically, I would say the same as fusion in Dragon Ball, you know, when they like touch fingers and turn into one. That's basically what happens here. So we're gonna skip this dialogue for now because I don't want to spoil it. This game is hilarious. So I really recommend reading all the dialogue. It's really, really funny. So here we go. This place is actually starting to come down. Why ever could that be? Quick, flutie poo with me. And here we go. No, it's completely normal. Just stand still. We're gonna have a great little pixelated stance here and pose them. And wonderful posing and great presentation. Alright, here we go. So now we gotta get out. So now we're gonna get a little bit into the action platform combat. We're gonna see some little slimes in a second. Alright, let's Smelter's about to tell a long story, but he realizes there's no time for that because they gotta get out of here. Alright, here we go. So we have the ability to dash. I was about to tell you, we can dash. There we go. Alright. Kick those guys. We're going to wall climb. Very similar to something like Mega Man X in that regard. We're going to skip by those. Just to quickly get out of here. And I don't know why that's up there. You just jump over. Okay. So as you progress in the game, Eve's abilities, this is a checkpoint by the way, Eve's abilities get fused with the elemental abilities that you find. So we're going to smelt this checkpoint to refill our health. Alright. And each branching path from the center area, which starts the tutorial that we'll get to in just a second, basically introduces a new elemental power for Eve and Smelter to use in the game. And the way that it works is that it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors. Each element has a weakness to one and a strength to the other and neutral to itself. And we're about to use our special ability here that does like mega damage. Alright, let's get this guy. And yeah, that's it. So now we're about to go out into the overworld. Sorry, I'm skipping all this because a lot of this dialogue is really, really funny. Here we go. So now Eve and Smelter are going to separate once we get to the main world. And you'll see that this is more of an RTS like StarCraft. I mean, not quite as deep as something like StarCraft, but you get the point. You'll see we got a little hut over here. This is basically how our Zerms are resurrected or just brought to life in general. And the Zerms are basically the little minions of Smelter. So Smelter himself is controlled via twin stick. So we'll get introduced to that in a second after we get through this dialogue. Then we're going to use the right stick to aim and shoot at these baddies up here that will try to destroy one of my buildings. Alright. So now we're going to come over. We're going to come over to this fissure at the bottom. Sorry, I'm like skipping all this. This is actually really useful information, but we're gonna get through this quickly just so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on here. Alright, so we just like lifted this up. Now we can repair things. So we're gonna use the right bumper to heal the houses here and heal this combat area. And then once this is done, we're gonna be able to move some of these Zerms up to this other building so that they can become soldiers. Alright? Yeah. Alright, here we go. Now let's call them over there. And you call them over with Y. So once we get over to this and it highlights, you have Y, 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 and that'll call 3 of these Zerms to walk over from the houses over here to up here. You can see that there's 1 Zerm left, because usually these Zerm houses can only have 4 that they can spawn at a time. So even after you call those 3 over there, you can see on the arrows above the houses that it's still 4, because 3 of the ones from that housing are up at the barracks and 1 is at the houses still. So as you progress in the game, you'll be building lots more houses, and you're going to have hundreds and hundreds of Zerms over time, and that's pretty much it. Sadly, this little intro part doesn't give you a whole lot of introduction to the RTS side. That happens after we defeat this next platforming stage, which I will not be doing. I'll just go into it after we fix it. So we're gonna enter into here, and this is gonna enter us into Goombar. And this is basically the game. As you defeat Goombar and you go into the northern area, you're going to get a bigger challenge on the RTS side because you're actually going to have to start to build your own paths. And basically, you have to create the pathways and then build the buildings on the corner parts. And the buildings are the barracks, archers, the houses that actually spawn the zerms, and then there's these little apple priests that basically allow you to make more zerms, because zerms can't survive without apples. Certain areas actually have an apple tree that supplement lots of food for the zerms, but most areas you need to build a lot of these little zerm priest huts, or whatever they are, to basically supply enough apples for your Zerm army. And as you progress, the lands get bigger, and you'll have tons of Zerms that spread out all around, having numerous different jobs. And placement is really important because you want to have your barracks and your archers close to areas where the enemy spawns are, so they can take those out before they destroy any of your vital buildings. And that's basically it. You basically trade off between these Mega Man-like platforming stages and the RTS side of the overworld. And it's really, really fun. I had a hard time adjusting to the RTS when I initially started playing, but I quickly picked it up after the next area, and I loved it. I actually feel like the platforming side gets progressively harder over time, and especially when you get to the last areas of each of the 3 branches, man, the stages and the trials and the bosses are incredibly difficult. And then on the RTS side, however, I think it gets a little bit easier, the more you do it. So it's almost like both sides kind of like reverse roles. I feel like the RTS side is harder at the beginning, gets easier over time. The platforming starts a little bit easier and gets way harder over time. And that's Smelter in a nutshell. It is a wonderful, wonderful game. The way I described it in the review is that it's kind of like a pineapple pizza. Like, it's a magical game. It really, really is. But I don't think this is a game for everybody. The people who like it are going to absolutely love it. The people that are not going to like it are probably going to hate it. And that's okay. It's a great, great game, and it does the hybrid gameplay so well, and introduces platforming fans to a simple RTS, and it introduces RTS fans to a challenging platformer. I can't recommend this enough. Go out there and support these guys. Go and read my review if you want to learn more about the game. And that's it. Thanks for stopping by Nintendo Link for this 411. I hope it was helpful and I hope it was insightful. Go download the game. It's really good. And happy gaming.